Ever stumble upon a photo and think, wait, what's going on here? Well, our planet, as vast as your aunt's shoe collection and as puzzling as pineapple on pizza, has thrown us some visual curveballs. Brace yourselves, because we're about to unveil 10 pictures and videos that have left even the brainiest of boffins scratching their heads. Ready to be baffled? Let's jump right in. Number 1. The Tulip Staircase Ghost. Okay, my mystery-loving friends, fasten your seatbelts because we're traveling back to 1966. Picture this. Reverend Ralph Hardy, a retired clergyman from British Columbia, decides to have a quiet day out in Greenwich, England, visiting the majestic Queen's house. His intention? To capture the elegance of the famed Tulip Staircase with his camera. Click. The camera shutter goes. But little did he know, he was in for a spooky surprise. Now let's hit the fast-forward button to the moment he gets the photo developed. There, amidst the spiraling elegance of the staircase, is a hooded figure, floating like it's auditioning for the next big ghost movie. It's eerie, almost like one of those classic ghostly figures draped in a robe. Now, before you scream, Photoshop, remember, it's 1966, folks. Experts, including the big shots from Kodak, gave the photo a good look-over. Verdict: zero tampering, zilch. While some tried explaining it away as double exposure or just some fancy play of light and shadows, many remained stumped. And if you think that's where the story ends, think again. The Queen's house isn't just famous for its architecture. Phantom footsteps, eerie sightings of a woman on that very staircase. The place is a ghost enthusiast's dream. So what do you reckon? Ghostly presence or a quirky camera hiccup? You decide. And hey, ever considered visiting the Tulip Staircase? Just, maybe don't go alone. Number 2, the Phoenix Lights. Imagine casually glancing up at the sky one evening and seeing an uncanny light show you didn't buy tickets for. That's exactly what went down on March 13th, 1997, over Phoenix, Arizona. The spectacle, now iconic as the Phoenix Lights, wasn't just a fleeting moment. Thousands gawked at these illuminations, capturing their dance with cameras and camcorders. Picture this, a silent V formation of lights, gracefully slicing through the dark sky, while another group just hung out, chilling stationary above Phoenix. The intriguing part? There didn't seem to be any source or craft behind them, like invisible UFOs decided to throw a party. Now the military shrugged it off, chalking the lights up to mere flares from an A-10 Warthog's night out. But let's be real. How often do flares move in perfect unison across vast distances or decide to play statues in midair? Many who were there that night weren't buying the flare theory, pointing out that these lights had moves flares couldn't pull off. This puzzling evening has etched its mark as one of the grandest UFO events ever recorded. Even today, you'll find heated debates around campfires and online forums. Was it just a military exercise, extraterrestrial tourism, or something entirely different? Whatever it was, Phoenix sure had a night to remember, gifting us a riddle the skies penned but left unsolved. So, what's your take? Aliens taking a scenic route or something far simpler? Number 3. The Hest Island Lights. Have you ever stumbled across a light show that nature seemingly hosts all by itself? Nestled in the quiet heart of central Norway's Hest Island Valley, the sky sometimes gets a little flashy. Since the early 80s, the night there has occasionally been painted with strange, brilliantly colored orbs and streaks, almost as if the stars decided to throw a rave. On some nights, these lights burn as bright as a car's headlights, while on others, they're just delicate glimmers that barely brush the darkness. What's truly captivating is their form. If you ever get to check out some of the snaps of these Hest Island lights, you'll see they take on myriad shapes and hues, hanging around for mere moments or deciding to party for hours. Predicting when they'll show up? Good luck with that. They're as unpredictable as a cat on catnip, adding layers to their enigma. Now here's where it gets spicy. Many have tried to decipher the mystery behind these celestial dancers. Could it be ionized iron dust? Plasma playing footsie with the valley's sulfurous river? Or for the sci-fi enthusiasts, perhaps extraterrestrials having a disco? The thirst for answers has even led to the setup of a dedicated Hest Island Lights observation post. But despite all the science and tech at our disposal, the Norwegian night continues to guard its luminescent secret, leaving us all in awe and wonder. So what do you think these lights are up to? Number 4. The Falcon Lake Incident. Imagine it's May 20th, 1967, on the serene outskirts of Falcon Lake, Manitoba. Stefan Michalak, a hobbyist geologist and seasoned industrial mechanic, was engrossed in his prospecting tasks. But the day had something unexpected in store for him. Out of nowhere, two unidentified flying objects graced the Canadian skies. Mesmerized and curious, he saw one land a stone's throw away. Without a second thought, Stefan approached, sketchbook in hand, and began detailing this outlandish craft. What would you have done next? Brimming with curiosity, he reached out to feel the unknown. But, as fate had it, a grid-like exhaust vent scorched his fingers. And just as suddenly as it had appeared, the UFO ascended, leaving behind a disoriented Michalak with a patterned burn scar right on his chest. This wasn't just a campfire story. The tangible proof in the form of photographs of Stefan's burns and his sketches of the otherworldly craft were splashed across newspapers, sparking a whirlwind of debates among UFO enthusiasts and skeptics, with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and even the Canadian Air Force scratching their heads. No logical explanation ever surfaced. Though ridiculed by many, Stefan's conviction in his truth never wavered, a stance he held until his last breath in 1999. Even today, this Falcon Lake episode stands as a monumental chapter in Canada's UFO chronicles. Every glance at those peculiar injury photos sends a chill down the spine, as we're left pondering over this unresolved enigma. So what do you believe? Are we truly alone? Number 5. The SS Watertown Ghost Faces. Picture this. Amidst the vastness of America's wilderness in July 2018, a chilling tale unraveled. Deep within Florida's Big Cypress National Preserve, hikers stumbled upon a lonesome tent. Inside, an emaciated figure rested, long departed from the world, a face familiar to some, yet a name unknown. Many had crossed paths with him, knowing him only as Denim or mostly harmless. His journey spanned across the Appalachian and Florida trails, and while he interacted with many, his true essence remained hidden. A slight smile, a grip on trail maps, his photos painted a picture of a wandering soul. Yet whispers of who he was and the weight of his solitude loomed large. He shared little, and what he did share, layers of untruths and untraceable tales. Was he just an enigma by nature, or was he deliberately hiding from something or someone? Despite being in an age of technology and connectedness, he seemed like a character straight out of a gripping novel, reminding us that mysteries are very much alive and amongst us. The media was abuzz, forensic teams were on it, and internet detectives deep dived. But his identity? It eluded everyone. It wasn't until January 2021 that modern science, in the form of genetic genealogy, unveiled his true name. So, while we might be sharing our latte art on Instagram or tweeting our every thought, isn't it eerie to think someone can still vanish into obscurity? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. All right, space cowboys and history buffs, buckle up because we're blending the old with the out of this world. Imagine ancient figures, think cloaks, spears, and all that vintage swag standing side by side with aliens. Yep, you heard it right. Extraterrestrial buddies posing for an intergalactic photo shoot. Now, I'm not talking about a scene from a new blockbuster movie or some fictional page from a novel. These photographs, brushed with age and laced with mystery, were plucked straight from the annals of our history. And the kicker? The place they were found? Top secret. Now, that adds a spicy layer of intrigue, doesn't it? Now, I can hear the wheels turning in your brains. Are these legit, you wonder? Or did someone back in the day just host a wacky costume party? Maybe it was the OG Photoshop. You know, a dash of smoke, a sprinkle of mirrors, a little camera wizardry. But let's be real. The sheer gravity of what these could imply has us both spooked and hooked. So whether you're Team Alien Historic Mashup or Team Nifty Camera Trick, this has stirred something within, hasn't it? Why not drop those theories below? And for our next episode, do you think unicorns had a role in ancient Rome? Stay tuned to explore more mind-benders with us. Number 6. The Soulway FTH Spaceman. Ever have one of those moments where you capture something on camera that you absolutely didn't see with your naked eye? That's what happened to Jim Templeton, a firefighter from Carlisle, Cumberland, back in May 1964. On what seemed like a regular family trip to the marshes near Soulway FTH, Jim took a simple photograph of his daughter. But when he got the photo developed, bam! Right there, behind his daughter, stood what looked like an astronaut, crisp and clear in a shiny white suit, contrasting against the green marsh backdrop. The twist. Templeton was adamant that they were alone that day. Now imagine this, a photo with no signs of tampering, verified both by local police and Kodak, the very company that produced the film. In fact, Kodak was so intrigued they threw down the gauntlet, offering a reward for anyone who could debunk the mystery. Spoiler alert, nobody could claim it. The theories? Oh, they ranged from someone suggesting it might be a beekeeper wandering the marshes, because why not, to full-blown alien intervention. Yet the Soulway FTH Spaceman photo remains a mind-boggling puzzle in the world of unexplained images. It's a stark reminder that sometimes, even with all our modern tech and know-how, there are things out there that just leave us guessing. So, what's your theory? Maybe it's a photobombing time traveler or just a guy in a funky hat. We may never know. Number 7. The Unidentified Hiker. Imagine wandering the dense Florida trails in July 2018 and stumbling upon a tent nestled in Big Cypress National Preserve. But this isn't your usual campsite. Inside lay a man who had departed this world a few days prior. Bereft of any ID, he did leave behind his camping gear and a notebook that narrated parts of his odyssey. The man was known on the trails as Denim, or mostly harmless. From New York's Appalachian Trail he trod, staying away from the hustle of towns, embracing nature in its raw form. An aura of friendliness surrounded him, but he was an introvert at heart, living discreetly off the grid. The perplexing puzzle of his identity baffled both media and law enforcement. It wasn't until January 2021 that the curtains lifted. A face from his past, a former colleague, recognized his pictures and named him, Vance Rodriguez, a techie from Louisiana. In an era where every event gets instantaneously shared on social media, Mostly Harmless managed to be an intriguing enigma. His tale captivated everyone, from avid hikers to internet detectives. Those candid snapshots of him, radiating a serene smile amidst his secluded lifestyle, became symbols of mystery. They underscored a poignant theme. Even in a world that's hyper-connected, there are pockets of anonymity. His journey, both enigmatic and tragic, resonates with our innate yearning. The search for connections, understanding, and meaning in this vast expanse we call life. Number 8. The Black Knight Satellite. Ever stumble upon something you can't quite explain? Picture this. A dark, shadowy entity not bound to Earth but orbiting it. This enigmatic object, known as the Black Knight Satellite, has captured humanity's imagination since the mid-20th century. Glimpses of this elusive form, set starkly against the vast canvas of space, have left many of us scratching our heads. So, what's the story behind this celestial mystery? Is it simply space junk? Perhaps remnants from a long-forgotten or top-secret satellite mission? That's one theory. But hold on to your tinfoil hats, because there's a twist. Some believe this isn't just any ordinary debris. They speculate the Black Knight could be an ancient alien satellite, perhaps millennia old, silently observing our every move. No pressure, right? One iconic 1998 photo from a space shuttle mission brought the Black Knight front and center. This intriguing snapshot shows an ambiguous object lazily floating close to Earth. And while NASA chalked it up to a mislaid thermal blanket from the mission, not everyone was buying that. Thermal blanket or ancient alien observer? What do you think? The Black Knight satellite saga underscores one undeniable truth. We humans are drawn, almost magnetically, to the universe's vast and unresolved enigmas. Whether you're Team Space Debris or Team ET, one thing's for certain. Mysteries like these keep our gaze fixed upwards, ever curious about the cosmos's boundless wonders. So next time you look up at the night sky, give a nod to our enigmatic friend. Who knows? It might just nod back. Number 9. The McMinville UFO. All right, folks, let me take you on a throwback to May 11th, 1950. Picture this. Evelyn Trent is casually strolling back to her farmhouse in good old McMinville, Oregon. It's probably a day like any other. Maybe she's pondering what's for dinner, when bam! The sky presents her with a hovering metallic disc. Now, she wasn't part of the digital selfie era, but she knew a photo op when she saw one. Hustling inside, she gets her hubby, Paul, and he manages to snap not one but 2 crystal-clear photos of this sky-high enigma before it zooms away, probably late for an alien meeting. The result? 2 of the clearest saucer snaps in UFO history. The local paper couldn't resist the allure of the story and ran with it, and soon enough, Life magazine is showcasing it, causing a national jaw drop. Naturally, there were the party poopers. It's a hoax, some cried. Maybe a dangling model or some funky perspective trick. But the Trent duo? They weren't having it, defending their cosmic catch till their last breaths. Years have passed, and experts have dissected these photos with digital zoom-ins and model replicas. Some suggest it might be a close-by object, but here's the kicker. No one can really confirm or debunk the photo's realness. And so, the McMinville UFO snaps have secured their VIP status in the UFO Hall of Fame. Proof of alien tourists, or an elaborate scam? Guess we'll never truly know. What's your take? Number 10. The Belmes Faces. Ready for a tale that might just give you the heebie-jeebies? Back in 1971, in the quaint town of Belmes, Spain, something downright eerie started to unfold within the Pereira family's humble abode. Maria Gomez Pereira, likely expecting an ordinary day, was met with a bizarre sight, a mysterious face imprinted on their kitchen floor. And no, it wasn't just a one-off stain that a bit of elbow grease could fix. Despite scrubbing, chiseling, and probably a lot of perplexed head-scratching, the face persisted, even altering its expression like a silent specter in the night. But wait, it gets weirder. Over time, a gallery of ghostly faces, both male and female, began to surface, each showcasing its own unique mood. Snapshots of these eerie visages spread like wildfire, ensnaring both believers and skeptics in a whirlwind of debate. Was this home showcasing thoughtographs, images born from psychic echoes of those long gone? Or were these merely the results of crafty hoaxes or natural markings that Maria's imagination ran a little too wild with? Even though investigators took the plunge and dug deep, unearthing human remains right beneath the property, cue dramatic music, the genesis of these faces remains an unsolved puzzle. To this day, the Belmes Faces stand as a captivating chapter in the book of paranormal mysteries, reminding us that sometimes the universe has a way of leaving us utterly spellbound. Got goosebumps yet? Don't forget to check your floors tonight. Which unexplained historical photo or video do you find the most captivating? Let's have your answer in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.